converted all your files using MPEG Streamclip, you're ready to start editing in Final Cut Pro. The first thing you'll need to do is set up your folder. To do that, go to the hard drive, go to Documents, and you can go to File, New Folder, or Control click and get a new folder. Name it your last name and what it is. Then double click to open that folder and move that out of the way. Open the process folder where you put your clips that were converted and drag them all into this folder you just set up. Then go to the raw folder and delete out your mod files that you've converted because you don't need those anymore. Now open Final Cut Pro. When Final Cut Pro opens, you're going to end up setting up a scratch disk. And the scratch disk is really important because nothing actually exists in Final Cut Pro. Everything exists in that folder that you created. So if you don't put everything in your folder, Final Cut will have trouble reading it and probably your project will get messed up. This is why a scratch disk is so important. You need to set up a scratch disk in Final Cut Pro because nothing actually exists in the program. Final Cut Pro quickly goes out and grabs information from the project folder and shows it. So it's really important that you put all your information in your project folder. This includes all your clips, any live types that you created, any soundtrack profiles you created, everything, including your Final Cut Pro file that you save. So the very first step you need to do when you go to Final Cut Pro is to make sure your scratch disk is set to your project folder and everything you have for that project is in that project folder. To set your scratch disk, click on Final Cut Pro in the main menu, then choose System Settings. This will open the System Settings menu. You'll then select Set and go to the Documents bin and select your project folder. Final Cut will then set a scratch disk to your project folder. Inside the project folder, it'll put 3 new folders. These folders contain information that Final Cut needs to build the project. If you do not set your scratch disk properly, or if your files are not in the right folder or get moved or deleted, then Final Cut will not be able to locate your files and you'll have to reconnect your media. If your files are deleted, then you'll have to start over. So it's really important that you follow the workflow. You put your files in your project folder and you set your scratch disk every single time. To set up your scratch disk, you go to Final Cut Pro, System Settings. Now on the top scratch disk right here, you want to hit Set. Notice right now it's set to something else in that folder I created. I'm going to click Set. I'm then going to go to the Documents bin and I'm going to go to that folder I created. I'm going to choose that and notice it changed it up here, then I'm hit OK. Now if you look and we go back to that folder in the Documents bin, you'll see that there's 3 more folders in there. Those are folders where Final Cut will save information as it does the editing. The last process you'll have to do is you need to import your files. So you can go hit Command I to import them as the quick key, or go to File, Import Files, go to that folder in the Documents bin, open it, select your files, hold the Shift key down so you can get all the ones you want, then hit Choose. The clips will show up in your browser window and you'll be ready to edit.